What up, YouTube? Two Moves here. Now, one of my favorite comedies in the 2000s is actually a Napoleon Dynamite, starring Jon Heder. Now, the film premiered in about 15 years ago, and there was always one question remained, like, will we ever get to see a sequel? And well, one person who's actually still talking about doing a sequel, it is Jon Heder. Doing like a bit of a Zoom reunion with other cast, including a friend, Ramirez, who of course portrayed Pedro, Diedrich Bader, and the original. Yeah, he mainly was doing a Zoom reunion with Ramirez and Bader, and he ended up even saying that if, that Napoleon Dynamite sequels could still happen, and he says that if it does happen, Napoleon Dynamite 2 could follow Napoleon into a raw and edgy future, catching up with shady classmates, including Deb, played by Tina Majorino, as well as Napoleon's brother Kit, portrayed by Aaron Ruel, as well as Uncle Rico, portrayed by John Greeris. Anyway, here's what Jon Heder ended up saying. I would come back if Jared Harris, the director of the film, decided, hey, let's go ahead and let's see if we can pull off the magic. Heder said during a virtual Wizard World panel, we've thought about and we're always playing with the idea. I know I've talked a little bit with Jared, and it's his baby. So I'm just like, you put the trigger on that. Heder said, I feel like the future of Napoleon would be a lot more raw and edgy. So whatever he comes up with would be fun to explore, he said, because I think whatever Jared comes up with wouldn't be your typical let's do a sequel where they all look the same and they all act the same. I think it would be an interesting development in their lives. And adding, and Ramirez ended up saying that it would have to be a bit different, but still in that whole genre of Napoleon Dynamite and his mind. And he ended up saying there is so much more depth to find through these characters, especially in their future. That would be interesting. Granted, this doesn't really confirm that a sequel is happening or anything. They're just playing with the idea. But but looks like he is, looks like he is trying to talk to the director about planning maybe a sequel. Now, a sequel about 15 years later or wherever, like. Maybe they could do it like in 2004. I mean, that would be the 20th anniversary. Like, if they release, do a Napoleon Dynamite sequel in 2024, that would be interesting, considering that would be Napoleon Dynamite's 20th anniversary. So that would be pretty sweet right there. They could go to their 20th high school reunion and whatnot. Now, of course, we technically did got a revival of Napoleon Dynamite in animation form, which had like a animated follow, which I actually didn't mind. I thought the animation series was pretty decent. It didn't last long, sadly. But hey, if they announce, if tomorrow, whenever they fully announce that a sequel to Napoleon Dynamite is in the works, I'm down to see it. I love the original. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where these characters has been to, out of all these years. Jon Heder, he does not really do a whole lot anymore. Like, sad to say, Napoleon Dynamite. Ever since Napoleon Dynamite, he became a bit of a one-hit wonder. Like, he had popped up in stuff like that Will Ferrell movie, Blades of Glory. He appeared in that David Spade and Rob Schneider baseball comedy, The Benchwarmers. He's actually in the new Dreamers movie coming out. So Jon Heder hasn't really had much of a hit out since Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, Napoleon Dynamite was the one that really put Jon Heder on the map. But sad to say, he hasn't really done a whole lot since then. So, yeah. But if they go ahead and fully announce a Napoleon Dynamite sequel, I'm all for it. Who knows? Maybe one of these days they'll announce a sequel is officially in the works. And, I mean, there has been sequels to films that got released years ago. Like, we just had the recent Bill and Ted film, which ended up which is a hit on the VOD. So there's that. There is a Coming to America sequel coming. We've, of course, had Zoolander 2. We've had Dumb and Dumber 2. So we've had a couple of sequels, like we had Anchorman 2. So we had a couple of sequels to movies that got released years ago. They weren't all like they didn't become hits or anything, but still. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Would you be down to check out a Napoleon Dynamite sequel? Were you ever a fan of Napoleon Dynamite? And where do you think they should go if a sequel ever ends up getting made? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Timu signing off.